Have a good night.
Thank you guys one more time for Logan. He makes me want to go to Paris. Okay. Let's keep this on. Oh, bye guys. Thank you guys very much for coming in. Thank you. All right. We're keeping this comedy train rolling. I say that every time I stand up here. I hate it, but I can't think of anything else. So chug it. Here's Sean Bishop.
Thanks. I got you. Good start to the fucking night. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I wrote some shit down. I have no fucking idea. Are any of you guys married? Fucking with you. We're gonna see how many times we can ask if you guys were married tonight. That's all. It's you. You're the only one. You fucked up. Yeah, I get that, but I'm looking at him and you're the one that fucked up. I'm sorry. Could have done better. I work at the casino. I went to McDonald's this morning. I was driving there. And I saw a hearse. And usually a funeral procession behind it is like 10, 15 strong. It was 2 cars. They were just like, I was more of a work friend. It's all fucking stoned, they found out so fucking quick. Unfucking believable. I felt bad for the guy. Raising his fucking ass off in the back of a hearse. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm an athlete. Like I'm a runner. You find out what? I get it. Superior genes. Tell me about it. But I would go running at the park at night because I don't want people to see me running. There's only 2 types of people you run in the park at night. And the first one is a dark, shadowy figure. And you're just assuming that at any moment you let your guard down, that guy's going to stab you. You're just checking over your shoulder like, this guy's still fucking following it? And I love that guy because he makes me run faster. And he also gives me a reason to carry a knife. And then the second person I run to is a middle-aged woman that's also running to the park at night for the same reason. And, you know, she looks at me and I look at her, and then she looks at the knife in my hand. And I realize I'm the first guy. This woman thinks I'm about to stab her. And growing up, every time my dad had an argument with my mom, he'd always pull me aside afterwards and say, Sean, women are always right. So I stabbed that bitch 42 times. She was dead after the 5th stab, but it had to be thorough. This isn't the first time it's happened. It happens all the time. What I'm trying to tell you guys is I'm a serial killer. And I'm here to promote my Netflix special. I haven't been in contact with them yet, but I have a feeling they'll pick it up when the work gets out. So far, so fucking good. What else am I doing tonight? Oh, all right. On my license, it says that I'm an organ donor, which means at some point in my life when I die, someone's going to inherit my organs. Joke's on them. I own 2 pianos. Fucking killing it as usual. There's a long debate on painkillers, which one's better, Tylenol or Advil. I've always shared the opinion that for muscle soreness, you should take Tylenol. I second guess myself for a second. I want to say Advil there. No, you should take Tylenol. And then for everything else, Advil. So like if you're sick, Advil. Headaches, Advil. And I got my brother convinced on this theory, and my mom hates it because she's always like, Sean, Advil does not fix everything. So in 2016, I had a bunch of instances when cutting grass. I kept running over a hornet's nest, so I would take Advil. But also in 2016, at one point, I slid down my backyard and caught my foot in a lawnmower. I cut off 3 of my toes. And I ran out my backyard into our side yard. My dad was weed eating. I'm like, Dad, we need to go to the hospital. He's like, bees? And I'm like, no, Dad, I cut off my fucking toes. And I ran to her car, I got in the passenger seat, and my dad always makes fun of me. He's like, you know, when you're cutting our backyard, you should be wearing cleats. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, Dad, if you weren't wearing cleats right now, I wouldn't be sitting in our car bleeding out thinking, man, my dad is loopy and pulling his fucking shoes together right now. And he drove me to the hospital super fast. It was great. And I got there, they gave me 3 shots of Dilaudid in 25 minutes. I didn't know what Dilaudid was, but they're like, we can't give you any more of it because you will literally pass out. So they gave me, they're like, Sean, we're going to give you morphine. I'm like, that's the shit they give soldiers when they get a shot. I'm on some good stuff. Literally 5 minutes later, my mom walks in, completely calm. She throws me a bottle and she goes, it's Advil, take some, it fixes everything. I'm like, Mom, not time for the fucking jokes. True story. True story. My mom's a bitch sometimes. Love her. Funny. And then I was in the hospital for a week, and then I was bedridden for a month, and then I had to learn to walk again. My main focus was learning how to walk again, and whenever I finally did learn how to walk, man, I tell you guys, I made a mean fried rice. See, I hit you guys with a serious joke on the front end, and then on the back end, I hit you with a really stupid one. It's one of the, you guys gotta stay on your toes. I can't. I'm on fire still. I don't want to drop, but I don't even want to do that one. I'll do it after. We'll get there. It's very surprising to me that growing up that I was never molested. Thank you, Mom. Because I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I was also in the Boy Scouts, and then my next door neighbor went to prison for statutory rape, and then a neighbor out by our cabin, when he died, they went through his house and they found boxes of child pornography, which means either I wasn't their type or my mom was lying to me about how cute of a kid I was. We have a problem with pedophiles in this country. I got you. I'm going to do one more joke after this. It's going to take like 2 minutes. I'm running late. I love you, Leslie. Sorry. Oh, cool. We got a problem with pedophiles in this country. You broke something. God damn it. We have a problem with pedophiles in this country. We do. I said it 3 times. I said it 4. We have a problem with pedophiles in this country. I get it. I'm funny, guys. Don't tell them. And we don't have any real way to fix it, so I just kind of came up with a saying, and I said, kids are like puppies. You can play with them, you probably just shouldn't fuck them. Cool. My name's John Bishop. I have a goal in life to be the most famous John Bishop, which is great because there's not many of us. Like, if you guys think about it, in 1981, the second overall draft pick in the NBA draft was a guy by the name of Isaiah Thomas. And then in 1989, a woman in Washington State named her son after him. And that Isaiah Thomas grew up to be one of the greatest point guards in NBA history. How fortunate am I that they weren't named John Bishop, because my dream would have ended the moment I got cut from the 6th grade basketball team. Luckily for me, a black guy laughed at it. You fucking bald, don't you? You look like a basketball player. You look fucking fit as hell. I look like this. I can't jump. I'm missing 3 of my toes. There's a reason. Fortunately for me, I just had to be more famous than actor Sean Bishop. Exactly. Who the fuck's that guy? Turns out actor Sean Bishop's famous for one movie role where he played the secondary character and the eldest son to the main character in the 1977 classic Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Which means right now, as an open mic comic, I'm the second most famous Sean Bishop, right behind a guy that's been out of work for 45 years. Like, if you guys can leave here tonight and remember that I'm Sean Bishop, I would be the most famous Sean Bishop, right in front of a guy that can only sit as a homeless man on the streets of Hollywood that was a secondary character in a movie about communicating with aliens. And I hate alien movies, because they're always about how do we communicate with the aliens? That's not the problem, guys. What we should be worried about is can the aliens communicate with spiders? This is why, because if the aliens show up and they just decide to wipe out the human race, it turns out they're a bunch of racists. But if they can speak spider, it turns out I'm a racist. I don't know if you guys have heard of this Hitler fella, but let me drop some numbers on you. He's famous for this thing called the Holocaust, where he wiped out 66% of the Jews in Europe. I've killed 100% of the spiders I've ever fucking seen. Which means that the aliens can communicate with spiders. I'm going to be the dickhead in every alien history book to try to wipe the entire species off this planet. But if the spider genocide makes me the next Hitler, I'll own it. Because every single one of you guys knew who Hitler was. Not damn one of you knew who actor Sean Bishop was. I played the fucking win. Thank you guys. I'm Sean Bishop. Have a good fucking night.
Guys, give it up for Isaiah Thomas. All right, here we go. I'm feeling good.